This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
Choosing the right school for your child is not an easy decision. There are so many factors you need to take into account: the syllabus, the environment, the company your child would keep, your long-term goals. And because of factors like these, some parents have begun to look beyond national or state schools and consider international schools. One school that's making waves in the international education arena is City Harbour International School. Located in the expanding town of Manjung in the northern part of Perak, City Harbour pledges to offer a unique educational experience, one that emphasizes on emotional, spiritual, physical and intellectual development of your children. And it is the only international school in Malaysia to have collaboration with Outward Bound School, challenging its students to rafting, rock climbing, sailing, mountaineering and community service once a week. But with international schools mushrooming all over the country, why should parents choose City Harbour over the rest? To answer this on Open for Business today and to tell us about the exciting things that's happening at the school in the northern part of the Silver State is founder and managing director of City Harbour, Lal Muhundan, and principal of the school, Ms Nava. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Audrey.
All right, so let's just start with an introduction to City Harbour International School. Tell me a bit about the school and what it offers.
City Harbour International School is founded rather on the principles that every child is different, differently abled, and so the opportunities that we provide must cater for all kinds of children. Why we chose Manjung is basically because of that. If we were in the city, then would this child then have the facilities for swimming? Would the child have the facilities near a harbour, near the sea? So the choice of the location was measured before it was just built. And about City Harbour itself, currently we are about 1.5 years old, and with the full-fledged facilities of sports, collaboration with our Outward Bound School, our boarding facilities with a difference, a safe haven for children. I think we provide what a child needs for the 21st century. And if this child is going to face the future, then education has to be different. And that's what we provide at City Harbour.
What was the thought process behind creating City Harbour International School? Why did you decide to delve into the education arena, Lal?
Yeah, basically all started from our own children. It's basically we are looking at the school for our own kids. Then we started feel like which school to send. So we found out that beyond academy, we found that it's not much opportunities or options outside. At the same time, we are looking into it. The cost of the education is quite expensive come to the international education. It's very so we found out that we have to go affordable. And same time, we need to build the children or the community that have the same vision what we have. So it's about, before we have our own kids, we have these thoughts, and we are thinking that we have to send to some of the abroad, the country where there is something providing what we are looking at. Then we found out that this is away from country, then it's not easy. Either one of the parents have to move.
And it's also expensive.
It's very expensive. So we're looking at one option is a Phuket International School. Another thing in India, there's a couple of other education where we expected is there. Then we found out that something we have to have it in Malaysia, then it must be make it as very affordable. So that's how the thinking is to really the excitement of starting international school. A group of parents, we get together and just share these options. They said they are very, even some of my academic friends, they are giving some ideas and how we can do it and which way we can able to start. That's how the born of the City Harbour. It started with a small tissue paper. We started with a small tissue paper just on the coffee house. How the schools set up, how we can able to do it. And that tissue paper has become a reality today.
Is it framed somewhere in your office, I hope?
Yeah,
I was asking for it.
Yeah, miss out the tissue paper, but it's quite a number of names we wanted to do. There's one of the name where even I shared to my friend, they have a laugh on it, that is one is the name is Mahade International School.
Oh.
He's my mentor that we picked that. In that time, we feel like we don't want to be very neutral or names where we can accept by all Malaysian. That's how we feel that once we decided this in Manjung, and it's closest to the harbour, then we feel like to have harbour, then front there we put city. This is talking about the development so on. So that's how we started from our own kids. Yeah.
Coming back to its location, Sri Manjung Perak. Why Sri Manjung Perak? I mean, besides the harbour being there, why choose somewhere so far off from, say, the Klang Valley, where many Malaysians are looking for international schools to send their children? Why choose Sri Manjung Perak?
No, initially our main idea is one is the outbound school that is nearby us, and then Navy is beside us. So we have a reasonably good relationship that we can able to feel like we in the current situation to build the real full-fledged facility school is going to be very challenging. It's very costly. So we found out that we need some other strategic partner where we can work with. One of it is outbound school. And they already have their good setup in come to the adventures, education, and so on. Another thing is quite reasonably a good setup by the Malaysian Navy. They also allow the public to use their facilities over the weekend. So we found that we leverage what we have, the resources already there. And City Harbour also reasonably, whichever things we can able to have our own, we have our in-house facilities as well. So it's all make it ourselves more stronger. In the same time, we want away from the city because the City Harbour in Manjung, we are looking at is full boarding school. So we're looking into it, especially after the second primary education. There's the option they're looking at boarding. There's a secondary education. City Harbour is one of the options. So we found the busy parents and those are children. Parents are finding quite challenging to look after in the secondary age. That is most of the time there's adults and they have the excitement of exploring more interesting things. So. And we have to guide them properly. Then we found that they need the place or the school for them to skill learning and talent building. And rather than we just leave it to them, just whatever, after back to school, nothing to do, then they'll be engaged, something is not really productive. So we found that there's the major objective is the boarding facilities, what we have, and away from the city centers. And again is the new coastal highway is giving them a better option for them to reach to our place is 2 hours is in 2020. So that's all giving a better situation for our school. Yeah.
Speaking of Outward Bound School, you are the only international school in Malaysia to have a collaboration with them. Tell us a bit about this collaboration and what it lends to your students.
You see, the outbound school, most of the time, what happened is basically most of the school, or when any people, they go into very short courses, 4 days or 5 days, they have like maximum 7 days. Most of the time, it's not more than 14 days. But it's only a one-time experience in the life. After that, they can able to forget all the excitement and because any continuity. Then what is special in our school is we are looking at something like in a learning weekly basis, and it's going to be continued. They can able to stay and they can adapt and practices in a daily life and carry on continuously for their long term.
I'm looking at some of the activities, like I mentioned earlier, rafting, rock climbing, sailing, mountaineering, and community service. And you try and do this once a week. What kind of effort does it take to get this happening every week and to get the students involved in this?
Okay, because it's within the curriculum, so they actually go in the mornings, and we have a trainer over there. The Outward Bound School provides one trainer for us, and our teacher goes, our sports teacher or PE teacher, somebody accompanies the children. So when they go there, they have tiered activities. So not all kids do the same activities. For example, the junior ones, because they start at the age of 7, going there at the age of 7. So once they go at 7, they're very young to do major mountaineering or things like that. So all the activities are tiered. So the younger ones do the simpler ones, the older ones do the more serious activities, ending up in a campfire. How it helps them is, number one, it gives them stories. They have stories to tell. Number 2 is helping each other. So they have a shoulder to lean on. They can help each other. If I cannot climb the rock, somebody is here to hold me up. Friendship, team building, right? Creating bonds. So all these things you will never get in a normal school where a kid goes, a Cambridge curriculum, you sit at the table, you don't move, you do your exams, you get A's for your exam. But when you come out to university or you come out to life itself, that's it.
I was also doing some reading, and it says activities like this also build discipline.
Yes, right? Leadership, right? So our naughtiest kids are the best kids over there. They do very well. They look after the younger ones, and they are the ones who actually bring the team together. So, that's why we talk about differently abled. Some kids are good in this. So what we do is give them the platform. Let them experience everything, and later on they can decide where they want to go, which direction they want to go. But our job in City Harbour is to give them the opportunity, and that's what we do.
All right, we're going to take a quick break now for some messages, but when we come back, we speak to the founder and the principal of City Harbour International School about 21st century education and skills. Open for Business will be right back in a few. BFM 89.9.
Be free-minded. BFM 89.9, the business station.
You are listening to Open for Business on BFM. My name is Audrey Raj, and in the studio with me today is the founder and managing director of City Harbour International School, Lal Muhundan, and principal of the school, Ms Nava. Guys, before the break, you were just talking to us about the activities that the kids at City Harbour International School get up to once a week in collaboration with Outward Bound School. But other than that, maybe you can describe to me what a day in the life is like for students at City Harbour International School. Being away from parents, it being a boarding school as well. What is a day in the life like there?
So the kids come in at about 7:30, and the teachers are there to greet them in the morning, and the parents and so on. And once they come in, we take them out to the field, let them do some running. So we have some organized activities. The younger group may do running today. The older ones may play basketball, or the kids may be in the hall playing badminton. Then about 7:50, 7:55, they come down. We have an assembly. And we either have presentations, the kids do some presentation if they are ready for it. Otherwise, we do a bit of marching, get them all disciplined and geared them towards school. And by 8 o'clock, they are in classes. And then a day is like, it's not academic. It is maybe an hour of academics, and then it could be swimming. And then it could be another hour of academics, and then it could be some other ICT, for example. So it's not a heavy day for them. It's a day where they can enjoy themselves. And we finish at 2. We have 2 lunch breaks, and they finish at 2. And, then they have co-curricular, and they have all the other activities.
Okay. And it is also a boarding school, I understand, but that is only for secondary? Am I wrong?
It's for age 10 and above.
10 and above.
Yeah, so it's for primary, the upper primary, going on to secondary.
And what are the boarding facilities like?
Okay, the boarding facilities are actually, I would say, premium in the sense that they are in apartments. They are not in hostel boarding as such. And six students can stay in one apartment, 3-bedroomed apartment. There are kitchen facilities, there is tables for them, study tables, the TV is there for them to watch. So it's a bit of a safe haven compared to saying that it's a home away from home. It's not a home away from home. We want them to be independent. So we do have certain restrictions for them as well.
Like?
Like, for example, by 10 o'clock, they should surrender their phones and their laptops to us and go to bed and wake up fresh. So there's no playing games overnight and so on. We also we also provide the meals. We do the laundry for them so that they can actually focus on activities and studies. So there is a time for activities, like on Saturdays, they can come and use all the school facilities. We have squash court, we have the lawn tennis, so they can come and spend the day there. We also have teachers who are the guides for them, not a hostel warden who doesn't know the kids. This is our own teachers, so they understand the kid, they know the weakness of the kid, they know the strength of the kid, and they can play along with that. So basically that's it. What we want to teach them is not come here and sleep and then go to school and study, but we want them to learn independence, learn entrepreneurial skills, how to manage money, how is the future going to be if they are going to now start learning to be independent.
Let's dive deeper into understanding the students and teachers at City Harbour International School. How many students are there currently, and what is the ratio between local and international students, and of course the ratio of students to teachers?
Okay, currently we have about 90 students. We're just 1.5 years old, and I think that's a very good number to start with. Our ratio, teacher to student ratio, would be 1:6. And the ratio of kids, as according to race, local students are about 90%. We have 10% of foreigners. We have a mix. We have a very good mix of the foreigners as well. We have Brazilians, we have French, we have Korean, we have Japanese, we have Chinese, we have Thai. So we have a good mix of cultures. And we exploit that to the maximum, of course, because, it's a culture. Learning a culture itself is learning. So they are immersed in this kind of culture.
And I understand that you also practice a no-reject policy. Maybe you can tell us a bit about this.
We do inclusive education, which means that we take all the children who come in. However, if we realize that the child is special or differently abled and the child needs a different kind of attention, then we get them diagnosed by a professional and we see what else can be done. So we don't reject any child. We do have a placement test and we place the children according to the levels. And if these kids are differently abled and cannot cope with the level they are in, then we talk to the parents, because most of these parents who have differently abled kids know that the child is not going to do well academically. But the child is definitely going to shine in an area that he knows what it is. Right? So we just need to guide the child in that area. And academics will come slowly, right? So we've had, kids, at least I have in my experience, kids who were totally deaf, stone deaf, who are now earning 10,000 ringgit per art piece they produce. So why should we reject any kid just because he's not good in academics? Right? We should give the opportunity, and that's what we do at City Harbour.
And when I looked at your website, there was this term bandied about a couple of times, 21st century education, 21st century skills. Tell me more about this and how you view 21st century education or skills.
Okay, basically 21st, I think it's an overrated word, 21st century learning. But what we do in City Harbour is to build skills. So rather than doing content, we move into a flipped classroom. So the kids can study the content at home because the content is easily available. You just Google, you get the content. Anyone can read, anyone can memorize, anyone can do an exam. But if you really want kids to survive in the future, in the unknown future, we don't know what jobs there are for them, then we need to build the skills for them. So we build thinking skills, creative skills, critical learning. And we do a lot of questioning rather than giving them answers. So they come prepared with the learning. They bring their laptops to school. They have the iPads or laptops. And we do the questioning. Then we show them a little video clip. And that video clip is a prompt for them to move on to something else. So that's the kind of learning we do to make sure that these kids are ready for the future. And we have entrepreneur education. So we have money management and how to use money effectively. We also have the other things like building skills of sports and sportsmanship, not just winning the sports, but how do you really take part in sports and how does it build you, gives you the strength, gives you the leadership skills, the teamwork. how to not get frustrated when you lose. It doesn't mean that everything is a win. You have to accept failure. You have to accept loss. So these are the skills that we build in them.
There seems to be so much on offer at City Harbour International School. And, Lal, you mentioned earlier that some of the other options out there for international school can be quite pricey. Can I just ask, if it's okay, we're going to talk about money now. What is the range of tuition and boarding fees like for students to study at City Harbour International?
Yeah, the preschool started from 6,800 per annum. So we feel
it's not
that
per semester. It's
a per annual fees. We are talking about annual fees. Per semester about 1,000 plus. So we found that the education can be all parents able to afford to do that. We have our own way of managing it. But in the same time, the maximum we go about 30,000 per annum. So we found that it's quite reasonably affordable. And come back to the boarding. Yeah, the boarding is about
8,000 for 4 months.
That is going to be a 4 month. It's about 2,000 per month, 2,200 to 2,400 per month. Is anything the additional the co-curriculum where they want to have take up some sports or the golf or whatever, the sailing, and that's the additional thing they have to pay. But that's inside the boarding. We already already collaborate with the leadership outbound. All is already integrated together in the fees. So it's become some of the things in our school is a compulsory things they have to take up, especially outbound and marching, and another thing the leadership is a must.
And with the Malaysian culture of wanting to send children for tuition after normal school, how does that play a role in City Harbour? Do the kids need tuition?
They don't need tuition as such, but they do need extra help in language, especially English, and Mandarin is compulsory in our school. So some of the foreign kids would need Mandarin, extra lessons in Mandarin. So we do have remedial classes. We don't charge the parents, but we do have remedial classes in the afternoon for kids who need that extra English. But our tuition is actually enhancement classes, enrichment classes. Like we provide the Cambridge Young Learners English. We provide music classes after school hours, so that's in the evening. So that's open to anyone who wants to join in. But we really don't believe in tuition because we believe that whatever our teachers can do, our teachers are well qualified and trained. And we also have internal training for them. So they are equipped. And our latest Cambridge results, lower secondary checkpoint results, there was the first exam we sat for within, I think, 5 months because we got registered sometime in June and the exam was in November. All of them scored extremely well. They got maximum scores. 6 is the maximum, and they got maximum scores for all the 3 core subjects, which is English, Maths and Science. You don't really need to focus 100% on academics. By focusing on the strength of the kids, the academics comes naturally.
All right. And just before we go, guys, any plans for 2019? Any big plans? What can we expect to see in the coming year at City Harbour International School?
Mr. Lal's the best person for that.
Yeah, the 2019. Actually, we are expanding ourselves and come out another branch of school in KL.
Oh.
But basically, these are different values altogether. It is purely as a vegetarian school. It's more on a value-based school at the same time. Then we are more learning values. We hope that we can able to complete the school in 2020. Yeah. We also, the same time, we're going to have our national syllabus school, where in Lumut as well, because there's some parents still very much excitement of it's still a national syllabus school. So we have a very big 1,400 capacity school in where we own in Manjung. So it's one wing we are purely focused on the Cambridge. Another wing are focusing in a national syllabus school. So they're going to be giving more options for our parents that those are preferred any other options, or Cambridge, or they want a national syllabus.
It's also an option for the children to do both. Because they can still sit for the O-level English paper and they can do their normal government syllabus. So it gives more opportunities, more options for the children of today. And that's what they want. So there it is. He also has plans for a radio station.
Okay. Not one to rival BFM, I hope.
No, it's just giving the exposure to the kids everywhere. Because there's, again, once they're going to have the completing the academy, somewhere there will look for the, they have to take part of the work outside. They have to know where they can suit themselves. So we're giving a various option for them to explore and expose themselves from the school itself. So that we believe that we are the great platform for the children. Then there's a play and experience, learn. It's a fun learning, yeah.
All right, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I'll be looking out for that radio station when it comes up. I've been speaking to founder and managing director of City Harbour International School, Lal Muhundan, and principal of the school, Ms Nava. Now, for more information on City Harbour International School, you can visit their website, www.cityharbour.edu.my. And if you miss any part of this show, you know what to do. Go look for the podcast on our website, bfm.my, or on the BFM app, available now on the Apple App Store and on Google Play. Or you can also look for us on Spotify. Just search for us on the music streaming site. That is a wrap for Open for Business. My name is Audrey Raj. Thank you for listening. BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.